Everyone's wondering, how can they keep their job, get a job, the whole 9 yards. With us is Dr. Career. Welcome to the show.
That's good to be here, Kim.
So you're saying that a man, in order for him to keep his job or get a job, he needs to dress well.
He's got to remember that the boss is not going to tell him he's not doing it right. I was in the Army for about a year, and the beauty of the Army is that the Army says if you can't dress, they put you in a wardrobe, and if you don't dress properly with the wardrobe, then you can't go to sleep at night. But in real life, the boss is not going to say anything. You're going to get your slip and realize what happened, so you can help that.
Okay. So how should a man dress when he's going in for, now this is for a job that he's wanting to keep or maybe even a job he's wanting to get?
Either or.
Okay.
Either or. There's some major mistakes people make. It's terrible. Things like the dirty collar. I have a buddy of mine. The guy makes $500,000 a year, and he has a dirty collar. Men don't see these details. I don't know why.
Wait a minute. Is this like lipstick on the collar? Because he might think that's cool.
Yeah, that is. That is sexy. It depends where you're going. But you have to remember that your collar, literally after about a year, your shirt, the actual sweat will go into the collar, and you'll actually see lines of sweat even though it's clean. It's
gross.
Terrible.
That's kind of like the underarms, too. The guys with their armpits, they get those yellowness on the shorts. Yeah, no, that's not cute.
No, that doesn't work.
Yeah, that's
it doesn't work. And they always forget the back button. Why do they leave that open? That's a pet peeve of mine. Have the back button. And it costs $17 to re-heel your shoes. I swear, I see shoes that are so worn out, it's like they've had them for half a century.
Oh, I didn't know you could even do that.
No.
I didn't even know you could do that. So you could take your shoes in and get them resold?
I know, we don't do that anymore. I know, that's why. $17, that's how much it costs.
So you don't need to buy new shoes?
No, you don't. Just redo. Honestly, every 3 months, the people I work with, 3 months, you have to re-heel your shoes. Otherwise, they're too high. The wearing mark is too high. It's deadly.
Oh, okay. So that way you look like you're wearing nice new shoes. You get them polished up. You get them reheeled.
Yes.
You're good to go.
Absolutely.
Don't wear the dirty collar. We've learned that. Now, can you give us the appropriate tie length? I see guys sometimes wearing ties that are like halfway up, and then guys that the tie covers like the buckle. Where's the tie supposed to actually go?
The fattest part of the tie must be right above the belt. That's it.
Right above.
It's a simple rule.
Okay.
And if it takes you 5 times, do it. See, guys, sometimes they don't have the patience.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do it once, and they'll say, that's okay. You've got to do it.
Okay.
So check your man before he leaves the house.
Okay. What else should a man be wearing? Does he need to be wearing a full-on suit every day? Because this is what happens, I think, to many of us. We get the job. We dress nice for the interview. We get the job, and then we kind of start to slack off from there. Is that something that's okay? Do you think that we can kind of, relax a bit, or do we need to be to the nines every day?
Fitting into the culture is good. However, if you wear your jacket in your car for the 45-minute ride and you get out of your car, you've lost your mojo. You've got none left. The back of your jacket is so wrinkled, you've got to make sure that you hang it in the back seat of your car. My rule of thumb is you never drop your standard of the way you look. The way you speak, the way you relate with people will change dramatically, but the way you look must always be sharp. And it doesn't matter if you're in a warehouse environment all the way up to a pinstripe suit. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Always look really good. I try to do that when I come into work. I try to, not today because, it's a holiday, but I usually try to come into work looking really good. And people always say, why? You're on the radio. No one sees you. It's like, well, because then I think a person feels good when they dress well.
It completely changes everything. We forget this. One of the tips I give for people in interviews, a lot of your listeners know this already, but you've got to dress for the interview, even though it's a phone interview. Mm-hmm. You've got no choice to do that. It's absolutely mandatory. And women out there, if you want to have your man dress better during even a phone interview or a real interview, now this is controversial, and I wasn't sure I wanted to say this on the air.
Here we go.
Give up space in your closet.
How dare you? I don't have any room to give up. There is no place.
Kim, I know it's a bar in a room that's black, but that bar, that real estate's critical. You want your man to dress better? Give him a foot and tell him that's where you're going to put his best stuff. That'll inspire him.
I don't even know how to clear out space to make the real estate for him.
I don't know what to say. Maybe that requires, this is a whole other subject, having the woman review their wardrobe. Maybe they haven't worn something in 6 months. We could look at that, but that's a totally other show.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Now, you say that there's something you need to do called branding your bling. What do you mean by that?
Men overlook bling. It's critical. You need a watch. If you're married, your wedding ring. A belt, a pen, and a briefcase. Couple things you have to know. Your pen has to match the band of your watch. If your watch is a silver band, you've got to have a silver pen. If it's a black leather band, then you've got to have a black pen.
Who knew that? Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
It's critical.
The pen matches the watch, the belt matches the shoes. Is that how it works?
Yeah, everyone knows the belt matches. Actually, the latest trend right now is it doesn't have to be identical. So most guys, they can't see the color. Even if you put the belt by the shoe, they can't even tell the same. If it's in the same ballpark, we're okay. So you don't have to be exactly right. It's still at least 3 feet from the shoe, so you're okay with that.
Okay.
Obviously, no cracks in the belt. And I wish I'm going to start a website saying ban the bag. No free conference bags. I see it all the time. You get these free bags at conferences and you bring them to work. It's cheap. You look cheap. It looks terrible.
What about pens that you get for free, like at the dentist office? Can you use those?
Absolutely not. It's terrible. The thing has to be, no, people notice you with your pen, and that's people overlook. In terms of bling, man, I always forget about the pen. Now, it's amazing. Bill Clinton had himself a sport watch for his entire presidency. How he was able to get away with that, I don't know, but he did. So if you can pull it off, go ahead. But if it's beeping in meetings, you got yourself problems unless everyone's a runner, and then you can explain that.
Okay.
But in terms of the watch, make sure it's ready to go. Okay. Your wedding band and your belt and pen and briefcase. It's got to look clean, the briefcase, not frumpy.
Right.
At least $50 on your briefcase.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Career. drcareer.com. It's dr-career.com. That link is on my site. He's got a few books out there. One of them is Land Your Dream Job in 12 weeks or less. Also, the One Day Dream Job Challenge. Get those ebooks online. Coming up next, how to save during a holiday. Everybody wants to go somewhere. Everybody wants to do stuff, but sometimes you just don't have the money. Pete the Planner is next. This is Your Time with Kim Iverson.